So now you have a code of conduct. What happens next? Consider giving a copy to each member to take into the field. It can be handy to review these during team meetings or to post in a common group room or tent. Codes of conduct are best kept fresh, both in the minds of your team and in the document, so it can be revised if your group needs change. Consider setting a time frame, say once a week, to revisit the code of conduct in the field and to take the pulse of the group culture. It's a time to ask yourselves, is your group living up to its vision? Do we need to adapt any content? An important role that codes of conduct play in the field is that they are a reference for the group when group culture deteriorates. In the next video, you'll see what it might look like to use a code of conduct as a tool for maintaining group culture in the field. Here, a group of scientists are meeting for their daily morning brief, immediately after breakfast. All members, except for one, Jesse, are present. Jesse arrives 10 minutes late again to the briefing, announces their arrival by ignoring the morning meeting facilitator, Rowan, and attending to their own business, loudly looking over their own notes, rummaging through their field notebook, and then sighing repeatedly during the briefing. Jesse raises their hand in the middle of the briefing and completely hijacks the meeting by redirecting the conversation to their own agenda.
Good morning. The weather's looking really great these next couple days. It looks to be no wind, clear skies. There's a storm coming in at the end of the week, but until then, with the good weather, we're gonna try and get a lot of the field work done. We're gonna go through a bit of chores. The teams will go and depart to their respective areas. So going further, I have the water quality sampling team departing camp at 8:30. Make sure to bring plenty of sunscreen, a shortwave radio, plenty of food and water for the next day. And then the GPS team, you guys will depart camp at 9 to survey the marker sites. Be sure to bring extra batteries for the GPS units. And finally, the meteorological team will... Yes, Jesse, do you have a question?
Well, I just have a lot of data from the last couple of days and I could really use some help analyzing it and making sure that it's all fine so that I can use it in my forthcoming manuscript, because it's very crucial to the algorithm that I'm developing.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. But earlier we did discuss how we needed to get a lot of the fieldwork research done as our priority before the storm comes in later. We can talk about the pre-processing of the data later on, but this is kind of the priority right now. Perhaps we could delay pre-processing of the radar data until then. You and I could also talk about your needs further after the general camp duties and once we've completed the briefing. So before we depart camp for more science activities, let's all chip in for some much needed camp chores. I have Charlie and myself refilling the water drinking station. Sam and Pat, can you two clean up the breakfast dishes? And Jesse, can you resupply the hand washing station with soap and water? Great. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day and stay safe.
This next video demonstrates techniques to address the offender. Most of these steps should be completed independently in small groups, preferably only with a facilitator and the offender. If appropriate, the facilitator could recruit another team member to help counter any potential power imbalance.
Hey, I just wanted to talk a bit about this morning's briefings and the camp tours that followed.
What about them?
Well, I noticed that while others were completing their assigned tasks, you were not participating, and this is also the second day in a row that you haven't contributed.
See, the thing is, I've been doing this for decades and I've done my fair share of camp duties. I feel like the newcomers could pick up some of the slack and do my extra tasks.
Actually, camp chores are a shared responsibility among all members, regardless of seniority or years of experience. It sends a loud message when senior members contribute, and it sends an even louder one when they don't contribute. It sets a bad example and contributes to poor morale, which negatively impacts our effectiveness as a team and ultimately affects all the science being performed here, including yours.
That's all well and good, but I have important scientific responsibilities to attend to, and these affect all of us and the success of our whole field season. So I feel like I've paid my dues.
I recognize and appreciate that. Clearly, our entire objective for being here is to collect measurements that test validate, and support our science. However, it is prudent that we complete these tasks with efficiency, and a key to conducting efficient work is maintaining a clean and tidy camp. Failure to complete these seemingly unimportant tasks can adversely impact our ability to complete the science in a safe and responsible manner.
Well, back in my day, the youngins took care of camp tours.
Maybe so, but do you see how neglecting shared team responsibilities can be counterproductive to the positive team culture that we're trying to have here?
I mean, yeah, fine.
These topics that we're discussing were included in the code of conduct that we all collaboratively made together, including you.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the way you want to run your field team, then that's fine. I'll do as I'm told.
Thanks for discussing this with me. We can bring it up in a larger group discussion later tonight, and you can remain anonymous, but we'll definitely talk about it later with everyone.
Okay, sounds good.
This next video demonstrates how to address the Code of Conduct violations with the rest of the group while using and referencing the Code of Conduct in the response. This should be completed during the next available group meeting after the offense, perhaps either after dinner that same evening, if the situation permits, or during the next morning briefing. The key here is that most, if not everyone, is present during this group discussion.
Hello everyone. When we developed our code of conduct at the beginning of our field season, we discussed revisiting it during the campaign as needed to check in on our group culture and ensure that we are living up to the standards that we envisioned prior to the field season. Let's start off this briefing with this important group maintenance. As a reminder, this is the code that we had all signed. The code of conduct is something that we developed collaboratively, something we all dedicated time and energy to creating. It is critical to the success of our team as a whole that we abide by the principles that we identified collectively. Team culture is a core value that we identified as critical to our success. I'd like to revisit a few of the statements in our code around maintaining a team-oriented mentality. Specifically, when acting in a supervisor, mentor, or other leadership role, individuals should act with the knowledge of the power dynamics that may be inherent in these roles and act to mitigate their influence. And all team members will contribute equitably to camp chores and team function regardless of seniority. Treating each other equally and equitably through all phases of the project includes equal division of all labor. It means we all take turns contributing to shared camp responsibilities, regardless of scientific responsibilities or our own personal agendas. Additionally, positive team culture also means showing respect for others by being punctual. It also means providing opportunity and space for shared thoughts, ideas, and contributions. Inequities arise when individuals arrive late to meetings that everyone else is on time and mentally present for. They arise when others consistently talk over or berate others. This conveys a message of hierarchy that some people are of greater importance or better than others. This is not the message that we are trying to convey because we're trying to contribute to a positive team culture.
I agree that it's important that we all adhere to the code of conduct that we agreed upon. In my 10 years of fieldwork, I understand that things can come up that at times make us late, but these should be rare instances. And most importantly, we should proactively communicate to others when these one-off situations arise. We all want to succeed in this work, and to do that, we need a safe and positive working team environment. That will help us too when we get home as we analyze our data and publish our manuscripts.
Thank you for sharing that, Sam, and iterating on the importance of communication. Is there anything else in the code of conduct that anyone would like to bring up? Cool. I think we're doing a great job on meeting the high standards of our code. Let's continue to support each other and be good teammates. Thanks everyone for doing your part. Have a great rest of your night.